How's your wife doing?
She is, for the time being, doing okay. She is. She was diagnosed in February with terminal. It metastasized to her. The cancer metastasized to her liver, lung, bone.
Jesus.
And, yeah. That was a heavy. That was a heavy couple months trying to figure that out. So for the time being, she is in a trial, and so she goes to trial. And for the time being, the trial is working. So we're
good.
5 months. It works. It's not doom and gloom, which is another. I guess some people go doom and gloom. We never were a doom and gloom family. I never was a doom and gloom guy. She looks hot. She feels hot. She doesn't. You would never know it looking at her. And it was funny. At first she didn't want to tell. She didn't even want to tell her mom. She didn't want to tell a lot of people because the first thing you get are letters. We're all praying for you. If it's like, oh gosh, shut up.
Everybody thinking they have to come visit, even though they haven't visited in like 20 years. Like, I got to get my one last one in. And
we brought you the best banana nut cake. This is like a really ancient recipe, and we want you to have it. I'm sorry, just gonna go outside for a second.
You're just like, I'm just trying to live my life.
We're still good.
Yeah.
Well, she's very religious. Do the prayers not mean anything, or is she kind of moved away from that a little bit?
No. And I don't. She believes, she's got deep faith. She definitely has that. And she's not one of those, there's a weird thing with religion where people go, oh, well, how could God have a child just be killed and you've had cancer and you're the great. That's not God shit. I don't know what people have in their heads. It's like we're human and whatever you're into. She's all about like, hey man, whatever this journey is, it's kicked ass until now. Look at all that we've done, and if this is the way it's going to go down, this is the way it goes down. If I'm not going to gloom it and doom it, if anything, every step too has made our visions on life a lot more clear and crisp, and you have this whole different agenda, and you realize what's really important in life in general, because we're all on borrowed time. At the end of the day, none of us are getting out of here. So she's pretty powerful with her faith, man.
When you found out in February, do you go with her to the appointment, or is it?
Oh yeah.
And did you kind of know, or were you not sure? Did you guys sense that this is what they were going to say, or did you have no idea?
No, I knew. She still had. So she first. The way I found out, it was right before I played the Paramount. It was like it was February like 12th or 11th of last year, and I went there. And as soon as I came home the next day, it was right before Valentine's Day, and I said, I see an account. Who's this doctor that you've been? She didn't want to tell me, and then I said, what is this doctor? And she went, I have something to tell you. I went, oh shit! I knew right away. I'm like, what? We've been through it twice.
Sure.
What is it now? And she goes, they found tumors. It could be scar tissue. It could be, I just said, yeah, no, this is hands down. I know exactly what this is. I said, where'd they find them? It's like there's some spots on my lung. Oh, fuck.
Did you express this to her, or did you keep it to yourself? Like your feeling of dread?
No, you don't put that out there. You immediately go, let's see
what it is.
Let's wait for the official word. But you could tell by her doctor at the time, he wasn't very optimistic. And I called him up and say, listen, what's the deal, man? What are we looking at here? He's like, 4 years. I can keep her alive. There's some great pills. And let's wait for the biopsy. But I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And, the biopsy came back and they said it's cancer. But now by the time it was a long, brutal process, because when it first happens, okay, well, now what? What now what? And then you get tested more and then they go, and then you go to the real specialists and they go, yeah. And they have to be very, she was a young girl. She looked like she was 20. She's like 27. She's like, they metastasized and they're on your liver and lung, and basically you're fucked. Maybe you'll make it to Christmas. We're not sure. But it's up to you. What we can put you on a trial, and here's all. So and I remember I cracked a joke. She said, "There's drugs to give you to help you," and I went, "Are there any drugs for me?" And my wife cracked up, and this woman she looked at me like, "You bastard. I just told your wife is going to die and you want drugs." She didn't understand.
You were just trying to...
It's not about you.
Right. And that was a heavy ride home. Your whole life, I've been with her for 27, 28 years.
Right.
We're married 25 this year, and your whole life starts flashing, and you're going, oh my God. And then you think of the kids, like, okay, I'm going to, all right, yeah, no, we'll get through this process and I'll be all right. I have to be all right. This is the next step in life. This is what it is. This is life, man. Here we go. And she's apologizing. I'm so sorry. And I'm cracking up going, don't be sorry, but, I wish I knew your genetic pool before we jumped into this. And I'm going to tell others before you get married, check into their gene pool and once their fucking history. And just cracking jokes, laughing. And then once we started checking out all hospitals across the world and all that. For trials, and thank God I got a great friend that I grew up with, literally grew up on the same street with, that I've known forever. And he called, and he always said, he's like, Jimmy, if you let me know the way D is, you got to let me know. I can really help. And I called him up like, hey, here's where we're at. He's like, send me the papers and give me 20 minutes. And he called. He's like, you need to get her on a flight tomorrow to Houston, Texas. So, okay. Flew to Houston, and the doctor was like, how'd you get in here? There's a fucking 40-year waiting list. And the doctor's like, you need to be in Philadelphia right now. Right now, you are a huge candidate. You are the world's guinea pig for this right now. Get on the plane. Head to Philadelphia. And we said, we were in Philadelphia. And he goes, why didn't you go on the trial? She's like, well, I didn't want to, all the side effects. She's like, he goes, look at Tylenol. There's more side effect. They have to tell you that.
Sure.
He goes, or your option is death. Pick it. It's up to you. I mean, I'm not your life. And so that's the way we've been. Now, the first thing they tell you is, all right, once you go on the trial, normally, the first month, you take a biopsy. They got to take a biopsy every month. It'll say the tumors are shrinking. Don't get excited. It's the second, third month where you find out is it working? Did it spread? Are the tumors getting big? Do you have less time? Or is this kind of working? And she didn't hear that. I recorded everything. I go in a doctor's office, I record.
You do?
Absolutely.
It's smart.
And then this way I would go on a plane and I would listen to this over and over, and I'm holding back tears. I'm like, oh.
But you're doing it for information.
Absolutely. So I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I got a FaceTime from her, and she was crying like, oh my God, God is great. Oh my God, the thing came back and the tumors are shrunk. And she told friends and people called me out. These are great. But
You remembered.
I was tormented because I didn't want to crush her joy.
Sure.
But I knew in the back of my mind and my heart, I went, we're really not going to know shit for at least another month or two. So, but I had to, yeah, this is amazing.
You did go with
smarten
it.
her up.
Absolutely. This is awesome. This struggle is going to kick ass forever. And then the second month came, and I was holding my breath. I was like,
right.
okay, here we go. And they're like, yeah, it's amazing, still working. So now we're up to 5 months, and now the doctors and all of them are super excited, and pharmaceuticals excited, but you know what, man? There's no. I don't know. I
could
don't
turn
get
easily.
excited.
Yeah.
This could. We live month to month. Month to month, we go. Hey, let's get another kick-ass month. We got another kick-ass. So, all the way back to a shameless plug. No, but in seriousness, being able to do something like this, knowing I'm home.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Once a month, and if it turns into something, and I don't have to travel that much. It's it's definitely all a good thing.